To be locked away for years, even decades, for a crime you didn't commit is an unimaginably horrible experience. Unfortunately, such miscarriages of justice have repeatedly occurred throughout British history. Here are four of the most recognisable examples. The Bridgwater for one September Day in 1978, a 13-year-old paperboy named Carl Bridgwater was out on his round near Stourbridge, West Midlands. One of the final calls on his route was Yew Tree Farm, the isolated home of two elderly cousins who were away. By terrible coincidence, armed robbers happened to be in the house when Carl turned up. Caught red-handed, they shot the schoolboy dead. It was an unprecedented, shocking crime with an equally appalling fallout, as four men were wrongly sent down for Carl's murder. One of them, Patrick Molloy, died in prison in 1981, while the others, Michael Hickey, Vincent Hickey, and Jimmy Robinson, served 18 years before their convictions were finally quashed. The Bridgwater Four had come to police attention because of their involvement in armed robberies that year, including a raid on a Tesco where a shot was fired over a terrified staff member's head. However, it later transpired that police investigating the paperboy's murder had tricked Molloy into making a false confession, a revelation that rendered all for convictions unsafe. Their vindication came after almost 2 decades of anger and anguish, with one of the four, Michael Hickey, even staging a 3-month protest on a prison roof back in 1983. The identity of Carl Bridgwater's real murderer remains unknown. The Birmingham 6 in November 1974, bombs detonated in 2 Birmingham pubs, killing 21 people and injuring 182 more. Such was the force of the blasts that victims were propelled through brick walls and limbs were found scattered amid the rubble. Believed to have been carried out by the IRA, the bombings constituted the deadliest terrorist act on English soil until the 7/7 London attacks. They also led to one of the worst miscarriages of justice in the nation's history. 6 men, Hugh Callaghan, John Walker, Gerard Hunter, Richard McKilkenny, William Power, and Paddy Hill were arrested in connection with the atrocities. All were originally from Northern Ireland, and 5 of them had actually been on their way back to Belfast when they were detained by police. It was later alleged the men were deprived of food, beaten, and even subjected to mock executions while in police custody. 4 of the brutalized men signed confessions, and all 6 were found guilty in 1975. In the years that followed, news articles and documentaries cast doubt on the convictions. Crucially, it was revealed that forensic tests on the men, intended to prove they'd been handling explosives, were flawed. It turned out that the presence of playing cards and other innocuous items would also have triggered positive results. The Birmingham 6 finally walked free in 1991, their convictions declared unsafe after 16 years behind bars.